Tuesday afternoon, the 22nd of October. Good afternoon for WRCO News. I'm Joanne Krulotz. A young man lost his life when he hit a deer. The Richland County Sheriff's Office was notified of a one-vehicle rollover crash on State Highway 130 north of County Highway T early Monday morning around 5:50. It was reported that there were two parties injured in the crash, one of which was ejected from the vehicle. During the investigation, it was found that Carter Hayes, 20 of Lone Rock, was traveling northbound on State Highway 130 when he struck a deer. This caused Hayes to lose control of the vehicle and enter the east ditch and overturn multiple times. Tayton Rosenbaum, 19 of Sauk City, was ejected from the vehicle and Hayes was trapped in the vehicle. Carter Hayes was pronounced dead at the scene by a Richland County Coroner's Office. Tayton Rosenbaum was transported to the Richland Hospital, then transferred to UW Hospital for what is believed to be non-life-threatening injuries. Speed is believed to have been a factor in the crash. The Richland County Sheriff's Department was assisted by the Lone Rock Fire Department, Lone Rock EMS, Richland Center EMS, UW MedFlight, and Sauk County Sheriff's Department. Vice President Kamala Harris is making her case to conservatives in a Wisconsin city once known as a Republican stronghold. Stuart J. Waddles reports.
Brookfield's role in our battleground state could be a big deal. Of all the Waukesha County communities, it's one seeing a farther shift left, and it's likely one of the reasons Vice President Kamala Harris picked the place to campaign. Topics included abortion, Social Security, and national security. With the Vice President in Brookfield, I'm Stuart J. Waddles.
Kamala Harris is making her pitch to Wisconsin conservatives and independents with the help of the Republican former Congresswoman Liz Cheney.
For us to get back to a time where we are actually having policy debates and discussions and disagreements, we have to protect what undergirds all of this. And what undergirds all of it is the Constitution.
Cheney joined the Democratic vice president at the campaign event last night.
The notion that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down is just wrong-headed.
Both say Donald Trump's promise to terminate the Constitution makes him unfit to be president. The presidential campaigns continue their presence in Wisconsin. Former President Barack Obama is in Madison this afternoon on behalf of Democratic presidential candidate Vice President Kamala Harris. He's expected to criticize former President Trump's actions while in office. In Las Vegas over the weekend, Obama said Trump failed to solve the border crisis and now wants to deport millions of migrants in the U.S. illegally. Obama called that a mean and ugly plan designed to foster resentment and divide people. He also criticized Trump's handling of the economy while in office, saying Trump's tax cut benefited the richest Americans while driving up the federal deficit. Obama will be joined by Harris's running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, who will headline a campaign event in Racine following the Madison rally. The Republican Party of Wisconsin is stressing the importance of early vote. Party Chair Brian Schimming says the Wisconsin Republican Party was the first state party in the country to come out and endorse early vote and start its early vote programming. Schimming said the signal has been sent out very clearly that Wisconsin Republicans should vote early and get their votes in the bank. Early in-person voting starts across Wisconsin today. Several key deadlines are rapidly approaching for eligible registered Wisconsin voters seeking to cast an absentee ballot before the November 5th general election. Starting today, 2 weeks before Election Day, municipal clerks can begin to issue in-person absentee ballots at the clerk's office or another designated location. The in-person absentee voting process involves a voter both requesting and completing a ballot on the same trip to the clerk's office or designated location. When a voter requests the in-person absentee ballot, they will complete it immediately in the clerk's office, seal it in the proper envelope, and return it to a member of the clerk's staff. No IPAV ballots may be taken out of the clerk's office. In-person absentee ballots are securely stored by the municipal clerk until Election Day, when they are then processed and tabulated. Voters need to be registered and show an acceptable photo ID when voting by in-person absentee ballot. Municipalities may offer in-person absentee voting through Sunday, November 3rd. Importantly, the times and locations of in-person absentee voting will differ from municipality to municipality, so voters will need to check with their municipal clerk as to IPAV opportunities available to them. Some smaller jurisdictions choose to offer IPAV by appointment only. Voters may view IPAV availability by entering their voting address on the My Vote Wisconsin website at myvote.wi.gov/n-us/vote-absentee-in-person. Meanwhile, Thursday, October 31st is the last day for most voters to request an absentee ballot by mail, online, email, or fax for the November 5th general election. In practical terms, though, that results in an unrealistic time frame for the voter to complete the ballot and return it to their clerk by Election Day. Voters who still want to request an absentee ballot by mail should act immediately, said Wisconsin Elections Commission Megan Wolf, the state's chief election official. Registered voters can make their request online at myvote.wi.gov. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services wants to prevent childhood lead poisoning. It's National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week, and DHS is highlighting methods to prevent and detect childhood lead exposure. Earlier this year, DHS issued updated lead testing recommendations, calling for all children to be tested for exposure at ages 1 and 2. Children between 3 and 5 years old who have not been previously tested should also undergo screening for lead poisoning. In 2023, only 40% of 1 and 2-year-olds in Wisconsin received a blood lead test. Over the past decade, nearly 27,000 Wisconsin children under the age of 6 have been poisoned by lead. Visit the DHS website for more information. A new study unpacks the toll of gun violence in Wisconsin. Firearms killed 830 Wisconsin residents in 2022. Nick Matuszewski, Director of Policy and Programs at WAVE Educational Fund, said the numbers broke down to 529 suicides from firearms as compared to 277 homicides. The gun death in Wisconsin report highlights the toll of firearms violence in the Black community. Black residents only make up about 6.3% of the population, but accounted for 75.5% of the firearm homicides. Since 2020, firearms deaths have outpaced motor vehicle deaths in Wisconsin. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is considering changes to their deer management boundaries amid dropping deer harvest rates. According to the DNR, last year's deer harvest dropped 30% in the northern counties, leading officials to consider setting boundaries based on habitat instead of county lines. Officials are in the process of determining how much support they can get for revising the deer harvest boundaries and could present their final recommendation to the Natural Resources Board in just a few months. When searching for an online university, college, or program to help you earn your degree on your own time, make sure it's real first. Better Business Bureau reminds those searching for the right education program that a fast online degree isn't always the best. Advertisements for online college degrees often reel viewers with alluring headlines such as "Your diploma is just a click away," or "Earn the degree you've always wanted fast," or "Attend classes on your own time." These programs that sound too good to be true are, in fact, usually too good to be true. These online schools are sometimes called diploma mills, businesses that will give you a paper stating you earned a degree instead of an actual education. Fast, easy, and 100% fake. Although you'll have that diploma, there's a good chance it's useless. For example, if the program isn't an accredited online school, it won't be seen as a real degree. The tuition required to earn that diploma would be money down the drain. In many cases, using those diplomas as a valid form of a degree can be found illegal. Students should determine whether or not their online school is accredited before they enroll by verifying with a legitimate, qualified outside source that the school meets the required standards. The Better Business Bureau offers tips on how to differentiate between an accredited online school and a diploma mill. Make sure it's accredited. The Council on Higher Education Accreditation, or the U.S. Department of Education, recognizes accrediting agencies which accredit post-secondary institutions and programs. Visit these websites and search for your school to find its accreditation information. If you can't find your school on either of these websites, it may not be an accredited school. Anyone creating a fake business can also create a fake accreditation, which often happens with scams. Don't be fooled by your temptation. Diploma mills will state that you can fill out a form, upload your resume, and enter your credit card information to receive your diploma. Although those seemingly quick and easy programs are the ones you'll want to gravitate towards, those catchy slogans should serve as a red flag. Beware of a program that requires a lot of money up front. Most colleges will bill you based on the number of credits or courses you take each semester. A diploma mill will probably ask for a flat fee to sign up. Look for evidence of student services. Colleges will always have student resources. These include a page for the library, a list of classes, a staff directory, advising, and more. You should be suspicious if there aren't any resources for students to show substantial coursework and interaction with professors. Elijah Vu's mother and her boyfriend have now been formally charged in the toddler's death. Katrina Bauer and Jesse Vang were charged in Manitowoc County Court on Monday. Vang is accused of child abuse causing death and hiding a body. Bauer is accused of child neglect causing death. Bail was set at $400,000 for Bauer and $500,000 for Vang in separate bail hearings. The two originally faced lesser child neglect charges because prosecutors couldn't prove that Elijah was dead. Elijah's body was missing for several months and found in the woods by a hunter in September. The medical examiner's office says the boy died by homicide, but the exact cause of death could not be determined because he was suffering from malnutrition and abuse. Police are looking for a man who shot and wounded another man at a Dane County campground over the weekend. Police in DeForest say 33-year-old Micah Riggins pulled a gun during an argument at Madison Campground Sunday night and shot the victim multiple times. He then fled the scene and is still at large. Police consider him armed and dangerous, and there are other warrants out for his arrest. The victim is expected to survive the attack. Medicare open enrollment is going on now. Ingrid Kundiger, the Wisconsin Senior Medicare Patrol Program Director, says this is the time to make any changes to your Medicare coverage for next year.
If your medical situation has changed significantly, if you have new medications that you're taking that you want to make sure are covered in a new plan, if you want or need to switch providers, all of those things are important to take a look at right now.
Your Medicare coverage and plan should be tailored specifically for you. It is not a one-size-fits-all situation.
So even partners or couples, it's not like, oh, I'm going to take the same one as my partner. It's really what's best for you.
Kundiger says if you have questions or concerns, reach out to your local Aging and Disability Resource Center.
So it's really important to get that unbiased support so that you're not feeling pressured or the person on the other end of the line isn't pressuring you into a plan that's maybe better for their commission than for your actual Medicare.
You can also visit Medicare.gov for information. Open enrollment ends December 7th. As a disaster relief volunteer working in hurricane-ravaged Florida, Green Bay real estate agent Mike Pritzel says he spends his days serving food, cleaning, and helping the residents of the shelter in any way he can.
One of the things that we're tasked with is bringing compassion and hope for these people. It's heartbreaking, but, I only have one tangible skill, and that's talking. So for me, to sit down for 10, 15 minutes and just listen, put a hand on a shoulder and say, hey, we're going to do what we can, it's really fulfilling.
To discover ways you can help with disaster relief through donations, volunteering, or financial support, visit our Hurricane Help page at civicmedia.us/help. The Institute for Sustainable Infrastructure has awarded 9 of Alliant Energy's solar projects with its highest award level, Envision Platinum, for the sustainable development, construction, and operation of the facilities. The 9 projects total 664 megawatts and represent the successful execution of Alliant Energy's Clean Energy Blueprint, a roadmap to diversify its energy resources. All 9 projects were placed into service by the end of 2023 as the energy company delivers on its purpose to serve customers and build stronger communities in a safe, cost-effective, and reliable manner. Projects need to receive at least 50% of the total applicable points across the credits to receive a Platinum Verification Award. Among the projects receiving the award were Bear Creek, a 50-megawatt project in Richland County. At least 97.4% of all construction and demolition material was either sent to recycling facilities or diverted for beneficial reuse. And the Cassville 50-megawatt project in Grant County. Key stakeholders at the municipal and county levels expressed approval of the project and its execution based on Alliant Energy's proactive communication approach and its economic, environmental, and public health benefits for the community. The Envision framework was designed by ISI to promote more sustainable, resilient, and equitable infrastructure projects. It is comprised of 64 sustainability and resiliency indicators, which are organized within 5 categories: quality of life, leadership, resource allocation, natural world, and climate and resilience. Get ready for a spine-chilling adventure at the AD German Warehouse. This in-person event promises to be a bone-chilling night you won't soon forget. Ashley Mott is an organizer of the event.
This one is going to be unique because it's going to be inside. It's going to be the first and second floor of the AD German Warehouse, which is awesome. It's 4,000 square feet on each floor, so that's approximately about 8,000 square feet you're working with for a haunted house or haunted warehouse. That's what we're doing. So it's a lot to pack in, but we're hoping that we can give the community a really, really cool attraction and have it be a little bit longer, which is really neat too. We have a kind of like certain areas where you kind of have to like go through it kind of like a maze, and then we have other areas where you stroll past, you don't really know where you're going. So it's pretty cool, and we've had a group of people that have come in and helped us throughout the last couple of months kind of come up with new ideas and things like this. I've been working on this for a year about, so it's just kind of like been a labor of love, and it's just one of the really, really cool events that I work with throughout the year, so it's one of my favorites.
Gather your bravest friends and prepare to face your fears at the Haunted Warehouse Friday and Saturday, October 25th and 26th. A small scare with the lights on will be held from 5:30 to 6:30. The small scare is the children's version of the Haunted Warehouse. Small scare is geared toward allowing the younger audience and their guardians to experience the Haunted Warehouse. Tickets are priced at $10 per child and $15 per guardian. No Mercy is the adult version of the Haunted Warehouse with all the lights turned off. It will be held from 7 to 9:30. Tickets are priced at $15 per person. Tickets will be available the day of the event in the 1912 building. Tickets are first come, first serve. Payments may be made by cash or card. Credit card fees apply. All proceeds will go to the restoration and preservation of the AD German Warehouse, designed by Frank Lloyd Wright.
This fundraiser is our biggest through the entire year. Last year we raised $6,000 profit. So in just 2 nights, which is amazing. So like I said, this is our hugest fundraiser. And so we like to be able to give back to our community and give them an attraction, but it's huge for us in terms of what we raise annually.
Groups of 8 people will enter the building promptly every 5 minutes. Your group number will be announced and your group will immediately head over to the warehouse. Only participants will be able to enter with their group number. Smaller groups will be added together to make a group of 8. If your group is larger than 8, be expected to be separated into 2 groups. Absolutely no cell phones or other devices will be allowed to be taken into the attraction. For safety reasons, it is important that everyone understands the rules before entering the attraction. Go to the Eventbrite webpage to view the rules. If you have any spare time, Ashley Mott says volunteers are still needed.
I need about 15 more volunteers if I could have my dream, yeah. I need about 15 more to like fully staff everything that I'd like in there. Yeah. They can reach out to me and then I'll go over all that information with them and then get them set up so they're good to go. So we do have a mock run through. That's the 24th, which is the Thursday before the event. And then that way they'll be able to know exactly where they're at. And then it'll be another reiteration of the instructions that I gave them too. So if they haven't signed up, they are more than welcome to reach out to us and we would be happy to have them.
The Haunted Warehouse event will be held Friday and Saturday from 5:30 to 9:30. The Aging and Disability Resource Center of Vernon County, in collaboration with St. Croix Hospice, is offering a free caregiver informational summit series. The summit includes speakers discussing topics such as Aging and Disability Resource Center 101, Brain Health, Hospice 101, Financial Planning, Veterans Affairs Caregiver Program, and information about a Time for Joy respite program. The summit is being held at the Emmanuel Lutheran Church Fellowship Hall in Viroqua this Thursday from 10 to 2. A complimentary lunch will be provided. Registration is encouraged but not necessary. To register, call the ADRC of Vernon County at 608-637-5201. You can save a life by rolling up your sleeves and giving the gift of life. The American Red Cross continues to work to restock critically needed blood products following the devastation of the Southeast. Donors are encouraged to make an appointment to give now to help keep the blood supply stable. A blood drive will be held Thursday from 11:30 to 5:30 at First Baptist Church in New Lisbon. 2 blood drives will be held Friday from 10 to 3 at Grace Lutheran Church in Dodgeville and from noon to 5 at St. Anthony and Philip Parish Center in Highland. Appointments are appreciated by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS or online at redcrossblood.org. The Riverdale FFA will host a haunted walk at the school farm Thursday from 6:30 to 9. Enter and park through the text plot entrance. Free will donations will be accepted. Those attending are to wear closed-toed shoes.